What do you think of when you imagine a person who is depressed? Are you thinking of someone who looks really sad and cries a lot? Well, that is right. That is actually the obvious hallmarks for depression. But not everyone who is depressed will show how and what they are feeling. Some of the depressed person will hide their emotions and appear to look happy and cheerful and claim to have zero feelings. According to Psych2Go, there are 5 signs of smiling depression. Smiling depression, according to Heidi Mackenzie, a clinical psychologist in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is another name for high-functioning depression or persistent depressive disorder, which means you can function normally and go about your day like any other person despite experiencing depression symptoms internally. Here are 5 signs of smiling depression. Number 1. Only on the outside you appear cheery, positive, and generally joyful. You communicate and engage with the people around you without revealing how you are feeling on the inside. You put on a brave face even if you're going through a difficult time in your life, such as breakup, about yourself, or the death of a loved one. Number 2. You're fascinated with posting pictures of your beautiful life or perfect life on social media. I mean, I get that posting everything that is going on in your life isn't required, but pretending to have a great existence may just serve to create a gap in which smiling depression can grow. Number 3, you're hesitant to get assistance or seek help because you're afraid of appearing weak, and you're afraid of being judged or treated differently because of depression symptoms. As a result, they are more likely to maintain a cheerful facade and keep their emotions hidden. Number 4, you keep working to keep yourself busy to avoid how and what you really feel. Lastly, you struggle with denial. It is difficult for many reasons. Firstly, some people may not even be aware that they are depressed, and those who are aware often refuse to or don't seek help. Furthermore, according to the paper of the World Health Organization, smiling depression presents with conflicting symptoms compared to classic depression, which makes it harder to diagnose.
Today we are going to talk about how depression can affect our society. So, first of all, we all know that our society has a majority of students and teens. So, we're going to talk about how depression can affect students. So, let's start with depression affects students on learning by finding it difficult to perform activities that requires advanced motor and cognitive abilities. These kinds of abilities are like sports or extracurricular activities in school, and tasks on a daily basis can also be difficult for a person suffering from depression. Students with this kind of disorder can lack classroom interaction, such as paying attention to the lesson or to the teacher, and having a social interaction with your classmates or with your professor in any case. It also causes loss of enthusiasm in pursuing interests or goals for your future plans. And depression also brings students high level of stress, causing low scores on IQ and achievement tests or any kinds of tests. All of these examples can affect our environment or perhaps our society, because all of these signs are negative not only to one person but everyone who are around that, or that means the person who has depression.
How depression can affect our society. People with depression can find it difficult to engage in social activities, such as family life and work. In addition to high healthcare costs, the disability associated with depression can limit the activities and productivity of affected individuals, and is greater than that reported with other chronic physical illnesses. According to the World Economic Forum, WEF, an estimated 320 million people have mental depression worldwide. According to the World Health Organization, depression, including anxiety, has a major impact on the global economy. It costs up to 1 trillion in many countries, not only because of the treatments, but also because many of the victims have left their jobs. Many individuals suffer from depression alone. Those who experience depression have no energy, no appetite, or perhaps too much energy to eat, have trouble sleeping, restless, or feel worthless or guilt. Many of them are thinking of hurting themselves or even worse, committing suicide. The impact of depression on work has been measured in terms of absence from work and lost productivity. Research in the mid-1990s, which examined the impact of illness in the workplace, found that the average number of days of work lost per year was greater with depression than with chronic illnesses, like diabetes, high blood pressure, back pain, and other heart disease. Research has shown also that people with depression have impaired physical, social, and work functioning compared with non-depressed people, and that the impact of depression on quality of life is related to the severity of the depression. Some aspects of depression can be considered to be intangible and are difficult to measure. These include pain, suffering, and stress on family, friends, caregivers, and other relationships, which may manifest themselves as disruptions in daily activities, family or marital breakdown, and even homelessness.
In reference with the article Preventing Depression, a Global Priority, preventing depression opens a new opportunities to reduce it to not escalate to be a depressive disorder. It helps people to overcome it quickly since such actions are already implemented to equip them to battle the mentioned disorder. Depression should not be overlooked or not taken care of because it imposes negative effect on an individual such as on their productivity and social life. As a solution, we will be conducting a webinar. It is designed to prevent depression, not to cure it, through education and awareness about it. The webinar will be conducted on MS Teams with a targeted audience for young adult ages 20 to 26 years old.
The most significant aspect of our solution was that we intended to assist those suffering from various forms of depression by putting together a webinar. We are aware that some people continue to try to conceal their unhappiness or despair. There are also people who will not notice our depressed since they appear to be okay and unaffected. In this webinar, we want to help people suffering from depression. We want them to know that there are people who are willing to listen to what they are going through. We want them to think that they are not alone and that depression is not a reason to give up on the fight in their lives. We also want our hearts and minds to be open to listen to everything they go through. Many people now suffer from depression. Depression has no age choice in today's era, especially now pandemic season. There are various causes of depression, so we want this to be a solution we make to help people suffering from depression. This is also what we believe is the safest method to communicate with and assist people who are depressed because we know we need safe communication now more than ever during the pandemic.
According to the article, Suicide Callback Service, nature can help us in relieving our stress by allowing ourselves to get away from the things that stress us out. So if you're depressed or anxious, go to a forest and concentrate your sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch on natural surroundings. Nature helps us in relieving stress by allowing ourselves to get away from the things that stress us out. Based on my own experience, nature is the ideal place to relieve my stress, to relieve the stress that I feel. Because the level of relaxation it brings to me is very unique. If I have a problem which I can really explain to everyone or anyone, I simply go to nature and return home happy and safely. So I believe that nature may help us to feel better.